What's up, ladies and gents, and everyone in between? This is another episode of the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. I'm your host, Grandpa, on this screen. That's Michelle on the other. Say what's up, Michelle.
What's up, Michelle?
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we get started with that, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. The Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at TR Don't Last. You were saying something before we hit record, Michelle. Like you have, okay, let's start by saying you have 3 cats, 1 horse, and
I have a dog, not a horse.
it's closer to a horse than a dog.
Um,
Um,
and today I have a little juvenile cardinal who has just decided that my backyard is his home, and I like your new cup, and he's doing really great. We'll get to Graham's new cup here in a minute that he's showing off to everybody if you're watching on YouTube or
what are you
Spotify.
talking about? I'm just drinking my coffee.
But I have a cardinal that has been hanging out, and he's gotten very close to me this morning. He's gotten within about 5 feet of me, so we are friends.
In the backyard or front?
Backyard.
Okay. I was gonna say I hope it is living outside, considering you have 3 cats inside.
I have 2 cats inside.
Oh yeah, 2. My mistake. Um, Still makes me a little nervous with the one outside that is clearly prefers to be an outside cat. I don't think Furpa is in any danger of catching it. He seems to be a little above his playing weight.
So rude.
Bradley, I think, could probably do it if he wanted to, but uh,
Absolutely.
no, Furp is too chunky to be chasing birds. I would think
He would try though.
he would try, he wouldn't succeed.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's like a regular red cardinal.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen some that are yellow. That's interesting to me.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer my cardinals red, but yellow is a pretty cool twist. If you want the remix version. So you're matching drinks with your shirt today. You're rocking your Wildcat Extra Mile shirt. I am as well. You can't tell based on the screen. I am rocking 2 other medals also, by the way.
I am noticing that we got different shirts.
Ow. No, we don't.
Is yours cotton or the dry fit?
Well, I got the textile dry
Yeah,
fit.
mine's the cotton. I got the cotton shirt.
Well, didn't you get an option?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. I'm tech all the way. I'd much rather prefer tech over cotton. Not 100% cotton, is it?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, it's probably like a soft style shirt, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not 100% cotton, man. Okay, so we did not talk about this on the show somehow last time, but I don't know. There was a pretty big race called the Boston Marathon that took place the Monday before our last podcast. We didn't touch up on it at all.
No.
Uh, yeah, so we can do that for a little bit. I knew, I think, 6 people that ran it. Um, the fastest guys in our run club ran it in 2:55 and change. So just blistered through the streets of Boston, and I know a couple others that did it, and well, by a couple I mean 5 others that did it that I know of, and I believe the winner was the he was the brother of a guy that won it several years prior, and that became, I don't know if that's the first brother combo to win Boston. It probably is, but that's pretty cool in itself to have 2 brothers that have both won the Boston Marathon, the biggest marathon, at least most prestigious in the world. pretty cool thing there. It was also Des Linden's last professional race. So to she kind of became famous at Boston, and so seemed only fitting to end it in Boston. So congratulations to her. Very, she's a fan favorite in the running community. Just a big personality, very chill, very cool person, and hell of a runner. On top of that, there's a FERPA for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to say that I'm, or just confirm what I had said previously, there you go. There's the evidence. I don't think she's catching Cardinals anytime. He's catching Cardinals anytime soon. But yeah, another Boston Marathon. A lot of cool stuff happened, and we somehow didn't talk about it at all on the last episode.
No, we did not.
But it's only a 40-minute show now, so it's what it is because we got lots of things to talk about because we're very busy in the running community. I am, at least. Hang on as I get a sip of my coffee from my new coffee mug.
For those of you that are just listening, I feel like I need to point out that this coffee mug is from the Wildcat Extra Mile, and it does say award winner on it.
Oh, it does?
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I just like the white and red. I didn't really pay attention to the lettering.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no reason that you chose that mug today at all.
It seemed fitting considering that was the most recent race that we ran.
Yeah, it is.
Should we talk about that first? I guess we can.
Well, I feel like we should go in order and we should talk about what's around your neck before we get, so let's talk about last weekend before we get to this weekend.
Okay. I got two things around my neck. I've got identical medals. This is from the DoNot, well, I say DoNot, it's Do Not Stop Half Marathon, but it's a donut theme. And I didn't get the medal at first, like just
How
looking at
did
it, I was
you
like,
not?
well, I didn't. I was like, I don't get it. It's like a mirror.
It's a
I thought it was,
donut box.
yeah, see, I thought it was like a makeup thing, which didn't make any sense to me. But then you open it up and boom,
It's
it's
donuts.
donuts. It's a donut box.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I didn't piece that together. I didn't piece it together until I got the medal in Fayetteville. So I paced the Do Not Stop half marathon in Fayetteville last Saturday morning. And then I actually, my plan originally was to go home from Fayetteville so I could have kind of a full day and get to bed early and all that. My mom has not, she's had some health issues lately. And so she's been away from home in our hometown, closer to her PCP, primary care physician. And so I was up there the last time I was up there, I went by her place to get some mail and I noticed I was just like, yeah, this could she has a neighbor who's awesome who comes and mows it, who she don't even ask him to do it. He just comes and does it. Because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna yeah, she it needs to get mowed, I'm gonna go mow it. And yes, there's Furpa. Hi Furpa. That's a good angle of Furpa though. He looks very looks more lean in that angle. He's being an angle artist, like a lot of women on dating sites today. All right, take that's enough jabs for today. But I noticed that her yard needed to get weed eated, so I took my weed eater up with me last weekend, and after the race, I went and weed eated her yard after getting some lunch. So weeded her yard and ended it. She's got her property. It's a really nice property, but it needed a lot of work in that area. The weed eating part, it was more than I had anticipated, but I'm glad I did it and got it done. And mainly because my plantar fascia or plantar fasciitis, whatever I have going on in my right foot, has been an issue. And I was thinking it was going to be dead by the end of the yard work, but it actually worked it out. It just, I don't know if it was walking on the terrain and just stretching it out and moving it in certain ways. I don't know, just continuing to walk on it, but not running and pounding against pavement. It actually felt like $1,000,000 by the time I got out of the shower at her place and headed back home. So I'm glad I did that just to loosen up my foot. And so I felt good coming back home. Paced the same race in Little Rock Sunday. Um, kind of, my foot was sore for probably a good couple of miles, but then it eventually loosened up enough to where I felt fine toward the end. Came in on time. 2:09:55 was my official time. Sunday, Saturday I was the 2:10 pace group with Beast Pacing. Shout out Beast Pacing. Um, I was 2:09:38, I believe, in Fayetteville, and that was a mess. That was more of a mess that day. It was a it was a course that wasn't in the usual spot in the Fayetteville location. It was on the other side of town, off of Martin Luther King. For anybody that knows anything about Fayetteville, a little further down, towards like the going towards the baseball fields and the animal shelter and all that. If you know anything about the area, but you're kind of in the middle of town and you'll have to go through intersections and you need more of a police presence to block traffic, etc. And so to avoid another intersection having to be blocked off, they did what's called a dog leg on the course, which if you're wondering what that is, you've got your normal course route, and then all of a sudden you'll have a part of it that splits off and does usually a turnaround. It's just adding distance to it. It's kind of random, and they call that a dog leg. It's just because it looks like, dog sticking its leg out to pee. Um, so they added that. The problem was a lot of volunteers for this race backed out on race day or right before the race. So you have new people in there, at this aid station, and our first pacer, our lead pacer, Andrew is his name. He did the correct thing. He turned around. He of course did what he was supposed to do, study the course and all that. So he came around, and when I got there's my brother in front of me, and then there's me. And when I got to the turnaround, I was going to turn around like everybody, and I noticed I saw my brother and other people continuing to run. And so I asked the person, I said, "Hey, does the half marathon keep going, or do we turn around here?" And she said, "Half marathon and 10K keep going. 5K, this is the turnaround for the 5K only." I said, "Okay." So I keep going, and then we realize it hits me pretty soon. I was like, I'm not seeing a 2 mile marker anywhere. Plus, there's a lot of construction going on. It's a mess. And then we eventually get a mile up the road, and there's a dead end. We kind of knew it. We knew it before that. And so what I was telling people, because a lot of people did this, I said, just get your miles in, because there's no checkpoints at this race. So you're not going to get disqualified or anything. Just get your miles in and head back. That's all you can do at this point. So unless you just want to turn around and go run 2 extra miles and just do the course, which you can do that. But as a pacer, I can't do that. I'm not going to be able to keep pace. So by the time we get back to on course, I'm nearly 2 miles ahead. Like I've done 2 miles extra. So my brother and I and we would do it in passing, just kind of discuss what we were going to do. And like it was chaotic. It was a mess, but long story short, I did enough math I had to math in my head distance stuff. For example, well, I'll start here. When I hit mile 4, I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and I'm talking like number 2. So I know you couldn't wait for this part of the show.
Yeah.
So it first of all, my strategy, if the name marathon is in the race, I take 2 Imodium before the race, no matter what, no matter if I'm having issues or not, so that I can keep things under control in the bowel department until I'm done. I didn't do that because I didn't do that going into this race because I was pacing the next day too. So I didn't want to be backed up going into the Little Rock race. So mile 4 hits and then it hits me. And so I've got to go to the bathroom. There wasn't a porta potty until you get back to the turnaround, which it was 2 loops for the Fayetteville one. So you had to go back to the start and turn around and then go do the same route again. And there's your 13.1 doing it twice. So I had a good 3. I was 8 miles in by the time I got back to the start. So where the porta potty was. So I think I was 8.11 in. So I ran a full 4 miles having to go to the bathroom. It was not fun. And on top of that, there was a woman who turned out she like griped at every pacer she saw. She said, "You went too far," as I was running by, and I said, "Yep," and because I thought she said we went too far, and I just said, "Yep," and one, yeah, we went too far. Two, I'm trying just to not crap myself at this point. So I'm very short, and I like in my response, and I just keep going. And she sarcastically goes, "Yeah," like as I was running by, and I was like, "Okay, well, she's blaming me for that." And I found out later she said that to every pacer she passed because I was telling them the other pacers about it, and they were like, "What does she look like?" And I told her, and I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Yeah, she did that to us too." So I wasn't. She didn't at least didn't single me out, I guess. Um, just for those of you wondering, Pacers aren't affiliated with the race that they're pacing. Now, should we know the course? Yes. In a perfect world, yes, we should know the course. But if you're like me and you're doing a lot of these, especially on back to back days, you're not going to go memorize every course. You're just hoping that the course is right. And I'm going to come in on time no matter what. I still did that. So it's what it is. But I go to the bathroom, right? And I'm in there a good 15 minutes, probably just making sure I get all the evil out of me. And I get out and I'm doing math in my head. I'm like, okay, I need to turn around at 10 and a half miles, basically. I think I turned around at 10.6. I think it was. I had an idea. I saw a mile marker that was mile marker 11. I said, okay, it's by this house. And if I get to this, then I'll turn around, then I'll be right on it. I could the problem was I was looking at it from I even turned around to look like to see it from the angle I would be coming from, but I still didn't recognize it. So I went further than I should have. So for a good 5K, I was going race speed. I mean, I was booking it for just to one catch up because I had been in the bathroom for so long, and two because I thought I'd gone too far. But I got to mile 12, okay, and I was like, okay, I'm all right. I'm actually a little ahead of schedule, and so I basically just kind of coasted in from there and came in on time. And my math was right. I came in at 13.17, so did my job, but it wasn't easy that day. Sunday was much easier. It was a down and back. The guy even with the race company told me he at the tent he said afterwards he said yeah he told me what happened about the volunteers kind of backing out and because they even switched people when they heard what was going on. They had somebody that knew what they were doing go take over in that spot, and he was directing people where to go the rest of the way. um, and the guy told me at the tent who was handing out donuts, he said yeah I'm doing the course for Little Rock tomorrow. I told him I'd be there. And so it's just a down and back, so it's gonna one time, so it's gonna be right. So Sunday there were no issues, and no stomach issues either because I had my Imodium, so everything worked out great.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. You and that cup today, I swear.
it's got coffee in it.
Uh-huh. I know. I know that it has the coffee in it. But I am really jealous of the medal because I love donuts. So,
These metals,
yeah. Yeah.
I have two of them. I have two shirts also, but I could only, I mean, I guess I could have worn three shirts, but it's a little hot right now for all that. So I elected not to. I
Yeah.
do like this shirt, the Wildcat shirt.
I did get a donut yesterday though, so it's okay.
Oh, they did have donuts.
They did.
Um, they had some amazing looking scones. And one, I grabbed one, but I knew you and I were going to go eat breakfast afterward at this
Mhm.
really good place, Chit Chat and Chew in downtown Searcy on the Searcy Square. Awesome breakfast.
Yeah.
Um, so I wasn't going to eat it then because I want to, make sure I had room for breakfast. And problem was I had to carry it around for a while. And I know a lot of people at these races, these Grand Prix races. So I'm shooting the breeze with a lot of them. And uh, my cousin of no relation, Dale Powell, I was talking to him, and this group of like kids walked by. They had just finished the kids race maybe, and I'm holding it like down like to my side, but like kind of like this to where it's like a kid's height.
Mhm.
And he walked by and just coughed right into that scone. I mean, let out three full like rod, didn't cover his mouth, nothing,
Yeah.
right on the scone. So I was like, well, that's useless now. So I had to toss the scone, but it's what it is. I ended up having a really good breakfast and a pretty good time at the race yesterday, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Came in as a grown person. I mean, I don't think I've ever timed myself in the mile, even when I was younger, because I just did the 2 mile in track. Um, but yeah, I got a PR yesterday. Came in at 6 minutes 5 seconds. So official time was 6:05. I was really happy about it, and then I was kind of irked by it. I was like, man, I was that close to a sub 6. Now 5 seconds is a long time in a mile race. I should add that. That's a long time for a mile. And I gave everything I had, but I came out of the gate hot. I tried to keep up with this guy in a run club who's new to these Grand Prix races. I tried to keep up with him for a little bit. I knew he was faster than me. I was like, I'm going to keep up with him for as long as I can. He started to distance himself after a quarter mile, and when we hit that quarter mile sign, I looked at it and I said, "Oh, we're only a quarter mile in." Like, I mean, I was like, I need to scale it back. So I did that, and I kind of ran that pace for the next two laps. So the next half a mile, I ran that pace, and then the last quarter mile, I started to turn it up, but I couldn't turn it up like I wanted to. I This one kid passed me at the end, and I looked and I was like, well, he's not my age, so I'm not too worried about it. And then I looked at the photos, and Dale was right behind me. He even told me, he was like, I started to gain on you toward the end, but I just realized at a certain point I wasn't going to catch you. But yeah, I had to gut it out at the end. I ran out of gas, and it's hard to say I'd do it differently though, because it worked out the way I mean, it worked out, got the best time I've had. And I'm actually kind of like, had I just stayed that pace a little bit longer, could have come in under 6. But I was gassed after. I mean, I had to go sit down and all that when I was done. I'm not I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the mile. I'll do it, but it's not my favorite.
I get that. I get that.
But I got a new coffee mug out
You
of it.
you did. You were obviously an award winner.
I was second in my age group, for those wondering. And with it being a championship Grand Prix race, the awards go 5 deep.
Yes.
So if you're top 5 in your age group, you got one of these coffee mugs that says award winner on it. And yeah, so I got second. And it was kind of funny because I went up to get it because they say It took a little while to get the awards figured out because there's 3 different heats, and because you don't wanna put everybody together at once. Like, that would be chaotic because
Yeah.
because we have elite runners there, and we have people that are, not elite, the furthest thing from elite. You don't wanna put those together on an out and back course, especially if it's on the same road, because those people, they the non-elites, they don't do a lot of these races. They're gonna be all over the course. They're not gonna be on one side. It's gonna be chaos. You cannot do it that way. You have to have different heats, and but the problem with that is, like me, I got in the non-elite heat because their standard is a sub 6 minute mile for men and sub 6:30 for women, which doesn't make sense to me. I think you should just have it if you're gonna put the standard at 6:30, just make it sub 6:30 for everyone. Because then you had guys like me who I can't come in under 6. I came close yesterday, but last year I came in at 6:23. Um, I can't do that. So I was like, well, I'm going to go get in the non-elite because I don't run that fast. I'm close, but I'm not that fast. Problem with that is I was faster than a lot of the people at the elite yesterday. There were some people in the elite group that came in. I think one was 6:23, the last was 6:28. So I mean, I was faster than them, and I was faster than some others as well. So you have to mix. So I say that to point out that you got to mix my time in with theirs, and then you got to figure out the awards and how that
Mhm.
works. That creates chaos when there's that many people doing it. So that would be my suggestion on survey time. Just make it 6:30 and under. I don't know if that's the only issue. Maybe there was more to it than that. There probably was because there's a lot that goes on into organizing one of these. And I try to explain that to people who, maybe are just wondering why it could take so long to figure something like that out. And like, there's a lot that goes on here. It's a lot of moving pieces, and it's rare when everything comes together and there are no mistakes. So I said this on the last episode. One of my favorite races, there's something that goes wrong at that race every year. You never know what it is, but something goes wrong every year. It's rare when everything goes right at an organized live race. And so that would be my suggestion on survey time. Just make it 6:30 and under for everybody. Because really what's the point? You know what I mean? I kind of understand it where you're trying to just weed it out to where it's just elites, but the time is what matters. If you're still coming in 6:30 under 6:30, you're still coming in with the women as well if you're a man. So I don't see the point in having 2 different times based on gender if you're running together. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. If the men are running separately than the women, then that's fine. Have that standard. But if they're running at the same time, it shouldn't matter.
I agree.
All right. So how was your experience with the Wildcat Extra Mile yesterday, Michelle? Because you ran as well. It's one of the rare times you and I get to run a Grand Prix race together. Well, not together, but the same event because
Yes.
you ran 20 minutes before me.
Yes.
I didn't see you start. Now, I was doing my warm up and I was finishing my warm up as y'all were getting ready to start. So, as y'all were starting, I was running to the bathroom to just a onesie. But y'all had started by the time I got out of the bathroom and made it up there to the course. And I didn't even see you come in and finish, and I was looking for you too. I was like, well, I hope she's all right. It's been a while. And then you come and poke me on the back or shoulder or something. I was like, where did you go? Like, so tell us about it.
Yeah, so I did intervals, but my watch wasn't working with the intervals, my phone, I couldn't hear my phone. So I just kind of gave up on official intervals, so I don't really know. There was someone near me who I could hear theirs, so I was kind of doing what they were doing. So I'm not entirely sure. I think it was 30 on, 30 off is what it felt like, but who knows? Um, so I did that. Um, I am now a little confused, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm a little confused. So yesterday I took a picture of the results page because it said that I was an award winner. And that I had come in fourth in my age group, and since it was a championship race, it, like you said, they go 5 deep. So I was like, wow, I came in fourth. Like that's crazy. But when after they did all of the retallying and things like that, it came back I was not an award winner, which is fine. There wasn't anybody in my age group in the elite, but maybe somebody in the fun run that was being timed. So that's fine. But what I'm now confused on, so on that piece of paper, it has my chip time as 12 minutes and 2 seconds, which would put me about 19 seconds faster than last year, which is great. Speeding up. However, they do have the results posted on the website, and it has my chip time at 12 minutes and 10 seconds. So my results are different on the results page versus what I took a picture of yesterday. So I don't know what my time officially was. Strava has me at about 12:09,
I
12
was gonna
minutes
say,
and
should
9 seconds.
shouldn't you know, like based on your Strava?
Yeah, it has me at about 12:09. But when I know I crossed the clock on the race was slower or faster. So that's why when I saw the 12:02, that made sense to me because I know I did stop my watch a little bit later. And I maybe hadn't started it right as I was crossing. But so somewhere between 12:02 and 12:10 is what my official time was. Um, so I am either way, it was faster than last year, so that's good. But yeah, and then I went and got a donut after, and that was also delicious.
My time, I'm looking at mine now. It's right. It's
Mhm.
6:05:1. Oh wow. I just noticed something. I'll talk about that off the air. I beat somebody I never thought I would, and that you said I need to. Again, won't say it on the show. Um, yeah, just go to all results. Um, but by the way, yeah, my time's right, 6:05:1. And yeah, just go to all results and then look under my name. Or just look at the list. Right? All right. So um the winning time, by the way, was 4 minutes 22 and a half seconds. By this 20-year-old
Wild.
just 20-year-old machine juggernaut who's won every one of these Grand Prix that races he's participated
Yeah.
in the last couple of years because he was at the River Trail 15K. Elias is his name. Kid can move. I mean,
Yeah.
dude can fly. And there's just always just this huge gap between him and anybody else. So he shattered the spring fling course record. I mean, just shattered it, and probably this one too. I mean that's really fast, 4:22. Who? What was the winning time last year? Because you and I did the same race last year.
Um, Hang on, I have the results pulled up.
Well, I want to say it was like 4:40 or so, close to that
4:33. It was
last year.
same person,
Oh,
4:30.
same person. So he's gotten even faster.
Yeah.
Now he's 20, so he can continue to get better for a couple of more years.
Yeah.
and probably will. I'm sure he runs college somewhere, but just an absolute unit. I mean, you look at him, you can tell like that guy's an elite runner,
Yeah.
or he's a runner. He did the MacArthur Park 5K too last year. I remember because beforehand I had seen him before just kill it at another race, and I even said to you, I said that's the favorite right there, that guy right there. And sure enough, he obliterated the competition.
Yeah.
I actually think he had somebody kind of close with him too, which is kind of funny. They were friends. I talked with them for a little bit beforehand, but yeah, that's the so overall, though, I had a really good experience with it yesterday. All races, even with the curveballs in between, stuff like this happens. You do enough of these, and you just I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. They got my results right. I'm good with that on all accounts. So, do not stop half marathon races, fun time. Wildcat Extra Mile, a fun time. What's next, Michelle? What's next for you? I think you and I are doing the same race.
Is it the 2 mile that's next for me? Or is the next mile? I don't know. At some point, I have a 2 mile race and then followed by another mile race. And I think they're both in June, which
They
is going to
are.
be hot.
Yeah, the Arkansas Runner 2 mile is like June 14th, something along the I'm not entirely I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it's mid-June. And Soma, the other 1 mile race in the Grand Prix series is like June 27th. I know it's at the end of the month. You and I are doing both of those. The Arkansas Runner 2 mile is right up the road from your house. So you got home field advantage there.
Yes.
So you should be PRing there, is basically what you're saying.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what's next for both of us. But I have 3 half marathons before that. I will be pacing my next race is June 1st in Memphis. I believe it's the hometown half marathon. And I'm doing 2 more hometown half marathons the following weekend, June 7th in Fayetteville and then June 8th in Little Rock. So another back to back weekend for me. And you keep checking things, Michelle, and like looking out your window and on your shirt, and it's distracting. I need you to work on that before the next episode. But until then, we're out of time. So we'll see y'all next time on the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. I'm Grandpa on this screen. That's Michelle. See you next time.
See ya.